Alright, this is Unit 4, creating a worksheet and chart data for ethics, copyright and intellectual property rights. Learning activity 3. Alright, according to what they say when we are going to do the question 6, this information is going to help us to be able to complete information 6. They start by saying, actually, this young entrepreneur want to borrow 100,000 rands to start a microbrewery. She has experience in making several brews using malt, hops, and yeast. These are the ingredients or the resources that are used to make this stuff to be able to make the alcohol that she wants to make. All right. The following table comes from her recipes. Apparently, she needs 1 malt, she needs 2 hops, 1 yeast to be able to make a barrel of light. She needs 1 malt, 1 hops, 1 yeast to make 1 barrel of dark. L, she needs 0 malt, she needs 2 hops and 1 yeast to be able to make 1 barrel of L. To make a barrel of premium, she needs 3 malt, 1 hops and 4 yeast. And this is what she have available for this month: 50 kg of malt, 150 kg of hops, 80 kgs of yeast. All right, so here they just explained it's a repertoire of exactly this. All right, and they also state that a market study has determined that the profit retained from a barrel of light is 40 rands. This is a profit of 1 barrel of light is 40 rands. So in the event that we've got 2 barrels created, it will be 2 malt, 4 hops, 2 yeast. And the profit will be 4 times 2 because of it's 2 barrels, but only 1 barrel has a profit of 40 rands. And the profit from a barrel of dark is 35 rands, which is this one. And the profit from a barrel of L is 30 rands. And the profit from a barrel of premium is 50 rands. Now, they say the entrepreneur is trying to figure out how many barrels of each product she should produce to maximize her total profit. Okay, we are told to visit the internet site called www.solver.com step by step 2. If I click this, it'll open something which we're going to come and have a look right now. While in the same time, we are told that this is a tool that is in Excel. So we are told we should be sure to go through the example, learn how to name cells, and learn how to use the Excel function, some product. This I will be teaching you right here. So we're just going to quickly just have a look. This is the website that they tell us to go and have a look at. I'll be teaching you this assignment while I'm explaining what they state as well from this website. So I'm just browsing so that you guys may just be aware of what exactly this solver will be doing. Okay. That being the case, I'm going to close this because we're not going to be dwelling much into it. However, okay, we are going to look at our Excel spreadsheet. Let's make sure that we do have an Excel spreadsheet where we have no data. Just make sure that we name this exercise 6, and we can name our spreadsheet assignment 08 space exercise space 06, so that at least we may not lose the data. Remember to keep on saving on a regular basis. That is, in the event that your PC shuts down or anything happens, you still have your work. So you must keep on saving. All right. According to this, they say to set up this problem for solution in Excel, it is helpful to know how to define a name for a collection of cells. Suppose the young entrepreneur decides to produce 5, 10, 5, and 10 of barrels of light, dark, L, and premium. Test your procedure for naming a collection of cells on a spreadsheet by opening up a new Excel spreadsheet and entering the numbers 5, 10, 5, 10 in cells B10 to E10. So we're going to enter 510, 510 in cells B10 to E10. So where is our B10? This is our A. We are in column A. This is column B. This is where we are supposed to enter. Why? Because of here. This is our B10. This is column B and then row 10. So while we are there, we're going to enter the first one. So we are told to enter 5, 10, 5, 10. So it will be 5, 10, 5, 10. All right. They say cells B10 to E10 and name these cells Barrow's bed. So we are going to name these cells Barrow's bed. What do they mean when they say name these cells Barrow's bed? There is something called name defining. We are going to select this range. We are going to give it a name. Since we know that this is range B10 to E10, we want to give it a name, and then when we come to this small little box on top here, that's where we define a name, which is where we're going to type B-A-R-R-E-L-S, and then we type Barrow's med. So in total is Barrow's med. When we are done, we press enter. In other words, when I click here or when I click here, there's nothing, it's still written B10. The next cell, which is in C10, is also displayed as C10 here. And this is displayed as D10 and this is E10. But when I select a combination from these 5 up until where this 10 is, if I leave it, it will be written Barrow's med. All right, then after that, we have to write here Barrow's med. And we can enlarge our cell right here. And we go back to keep the session. All right, we need to take into consideration as well, according to what they've stated, that the market study has determined that the profit return from the barrels of light is 40 rands. So we'll come back here, and we're going to type here profit made. And we can type here 40 rand, and the next one as well, we put in 35, 30 and 50. 35, 30 and 50. Okay, this is the profit that was made from a barrel, from the barrels of each. So you can actually change the currency and you make it that it actually appears like this. Right, we need to enter the information right here on top, which is the information that was given from this. So for me, I select from right here exactly. You must make sure that when you select, you see this here. That is if you are lazy to type. Unless if you're willing to type, then you can type all this information. You select up until the 80 kg. You press Ctrl C, and then you come here, you press Ctrl V. You have pasted the information. Then we just change this. It's 50 kg. It's all right, we can leave it like this for now, but we will change it sometime soon. So according to this, a profit made from a barrel, 1 barrel, it will be 40 rands. So if 1 barrel uses these ingredients, then how many ingredients will be used when we increase the number of barrels, which means we must multiply this by the number of barrels that we want to make. For me, before I can actually take it to the next level, I'm going to copy this information, copy this, and then I paste it right here. And I'm going to say, all right, since I've used 1 malt when I was making 1 barrel of light, I want to know how many malts am I going to use since I'm now making 5 barrels. So my answer here will be this multiply by this. Then it will give me that I used 5 malts. Because of why? I used 1 malt for 1 barrel, but I created now 5 barrels, which means I multiply my 5 times 1. For this, I'll also have to do exactly the same. I'll have to come and say this times this, and I press enter. So meaning that I manufactured 5 barrels, but they use 2 hops. This time, when I've manufactured 5, I'm going to use 10 hops. Okay, again on my yeast, I'll type again this multiply by the number of barrels that I've made, and I press enter. That being the case, it shows that I'll be using 5 malt, 10 hops, 5 yeast to manufacture 5 what? 5 barrels. What about the profit? I think I'll just have to come and say, all right, what will be my profit? My profit will have to be 5 barrels that I made multiplied by 40 rands profit made per barrel, and I press enter. So with these recipes that are inside here, if I am to copy, I can copy this formula up until right here. These are the ingredients or the resources that we need. We need, for example, 1 times 10, which will give us 10. Okay, so to produce 10 barrels of dark, I'll need 10 dark, I'll need 10 hops, and then I'll need 10 yeast. For L, I'll need 0 malt, I'll need 10 hops, and I'll need 5 yeast. For premium, I'll need 30 malt, I'll need 10 hops, and I'll need 40 yeast. Now the question is, how much malt did I use? So for me, I'll just use the sum function, which we normally find here, which is right here. If I click this, it will select my range from the starting number to the last number. So it's sum opening bracket, the starting cell with the first number, colon, and the last cell that has the number. And after that, I press enter. Okay, I copy again the formula. After copying, I can see that I shall have used 45 malt, I shall have used 40 hops, and I shall have used 60 yeast. For the profit, since I already multiplied 5 times 40 and I used the formula, I'll copy my formula up until here. And I'll see that, okay, I shall have made all these profits for manufacturing 10, 5, and 10. What is going to be my answer here? I'll also use the sum function again. My profit will be 1,200 rands. That's my total profit for manufacturing 5 light, 10 dark, 5L, 10 premium. So this will be my profit. That's my total profit that I shall have made. Okay, so since I did a simple little demonstration of where I am going, there is something called sum product that they want us to know. So I spoke of defining, and we defined initially this cell, we called it barrels made. We are going to define this one, and we'll call it profit made. Click on here, type profit made, and we press enter. So if I want to get this answer using the formula that they stipulated, which is actually the sum product, I can actually calculate this 1,200 in a simpler way without having to go this route of multiplying all these things one by one by one by one. I'll come onto this cell, which is F10, and I say is equals to sum. Then here is a sum product function. So I'll say, all right, I can either double click sum product, or I can just complete typing it, sum product. Then I press an opening bracket. And I say, what is going to be my first array? Array, we're going to use the name that we used when we were defining the names right there on top. So I'll say it is profit made. Okay, so I can see that is a profit made that came down here. You can either double click it, or you can complete typing profit made. It's usually easier to just say profit made to avoid mistakes, but the simplest one is to just click profits made, and you say comma. After that, you have to type again barrels, okay, made. So barrels made, and this time I'm just going to double click. After double clicking, it will autofill. Okay, after autofilling, then I can put a closing bracket, and I press enter. It will give me my total of 1,200 rands by just using sum product, opening bracket, profits made, comma, barrels made. In the event that we want to delete, we made a mistake when we were naming, we want to fix the barrel's name, we can actually go onto the formulas and we say name manager. So we'll see that these are the names that we gave to the ranges. Already it tells us that this is where the values are. We can, for example, just come and say, all right, the one that is highlighted is barrels made. I'm going to delete it, and says delete and says okay, then I close. After closing, my answer is going to be wrong because I multiplied these two things, which doesn't exist. This barrels made is not reflecting. So I'll have to come and select the range, again, this range. I don't have to include this text barrels made. I only have to start, I have to start with where the numbers are. So when I'm done here, then I come to where this small little box on the top left is, then I type barrels made. Press enter. Then my answer comes back. That being the case, this is the introduction to our assignment number 6. Let's proceed and do the assignment according to what they said we must do. The question is going to be, how can you apply the things that you have done right now on pen and paper? I was using Excel. Pen and paper doesn't have cell references, doesn't have is equals to this, is equals to this. Pen and paper, you'll have to write the simple basic way of explaining in the mathematical side. They want to know, how did you get to that extent? So in the next few seconds, we'll be proceeding with the calculations on pen and paper using our Microsoft Word.